Sawa sawa. So thank you guys for waiting. Thank you everyone for waiting. So this is a live classroom where we are going to learn web development using Java programming language. And I hope that you are going to enjoy. I hope you are going to get a good understanding of how we do Java web programming. You are welcome, everybody is welcome into this platform, and I hope that we are going to work together in this streaming. You can always ask your question on the chat. So we are going to use several tools. On my presentation, you can see I'm using NetBeans, specifically NetBeans 15, and on Mac operating system. So the technologies that we are going to use will be Java, JSF or Java Services, Primefaces, and MySQL database. So to start with, go to your NetBeans. You can go to File, New Project, or use this second icon here. File, New Project. Then you go to Java with Ant. You can also do with Maven, but for this lesson we'll be doing Java with Ant. Then using this left side arrow, click on it, it will expand, and then you can select on Java Web, then select Web Application. After this, we'll give our application a name. We will call ours Employee Management System. Then click on Next. You need to have set Tomcat or Bayara in your NetBean as one of the server. I will be doing a video on how to do that. Then click Next if all that is set up. On this page, you are going to select Java Server Faces, which is the second option in my ID here. Then down here, ensure that it shows registers library is JSF 2.3. Yes. On the component, it will be empty. Then just click on Finish. After clicking on Finish, it is going to create our application. It will take some time. Merge just completed, and then it is going to open this page. Okay, it is going to open this JSF page. JSF page is nothing else, just an advanced HTML pages. Okay, That's why it is marked as XHTML. Okay, so we can change our page title to EMS, and we can also change the title of this page and just call it login. Okay, after that you can right click your project. You can see mine here. Right click on it and select run to test that your NetBean created a successful page. This is going to open in a browser. This is going to open in a browser that is in your default browser according to the machine that you are using. So I'm waiting for mine to open. It is starting Tomcat. You can see down there it is starting Tomcat. So for those of you who have been saying that developing web application using Java is difficult, it is not difficult. It is very simple, especially when you use the modern UI languages like the JSF or its libraries like the Primefaces, the Omnifaces, Faces. Sometimes it might be technically maybe too expressive if you are using JSP, but JSF is quite straightforward. JSF is nothing else but a front end that is able to communicate with your Java code, okay? And use certain special tags that we are going to learn to access your business logic in the code. So let me just accept that. It is deploying my app. Once done, it's going to open. Your browser. It's going to open a browser. So maybe just to show you how my browser looks like. Let me just show you how my browser looks like. So that we can move on together. So there it is. You can see how my page is. This is the button that we created, that is login. So let's get back to NetBean and start doing the real work. Okay. Yes. So if you expand your project, you will find several directories. You just concentrate with three main one. Web pages, this is where your front-end pages are going to be located. Source packages, this is where your Java code is going to be located. And then we have libraries, this is where you put your libraries, the jar files, like the MySQL connector and the Primefaces library. This way you are going to add those library. And then you also have the configuration file directory. This way you have the configuration files for your project, which you won't be interacting with so much. But it's good to understand where they are, especially maybe the main one, the web.xml. Sometimes you will be required to do some changes in that file. So let's just expand on our web pages. You can see we have several directories inside. You have meta-inf, we have web-inf, but basically we'll be creating our pages in the root of this directory called the web pages. Okay. Currently we have index.html, and we are going to make this to be a login page. So we can just we will be doing that, and then we will be having our Java code here. So let's start by editing our front end here to create a simple login page. So first we use the hashtag, which is already imported up here. You can see where it is imported here. It's imported here. This is the JSF. This is how you access it. And these are the components that it provides. So you are going to have hash output label. For label, this will generate a HTML label. Then it will take a for. This will be for username. So you need to give the field for username the ID username. And then the value what will be listed. So you can say enter username. Okay. And then we can create the new field, which is hash input text. Okay. And then we give it the ID. The ID we said it will be username. And then the value will be pointing it to the Java code, because this value need to be persisted to the database and all that. Then we can create another field for password. So this will be the same here. So this will, the ID will be password. So you'll be telling the user to enter password, and then the ID here we are going to change it to password. Okay. And then we can have a button. So you can look for H command button for our form. So for value, you are going to say submit, and then for action, this is what it's going to point to the Java. So for the time being, just leave it as a hash. Okay. So we have our page. We have two fields, that is username and password, and then we have a button for action. And we can check if we have we can use a panel grid to create a table. So let's just add a panel grid here. We can state how many columns we want it. For these two, it has a label and value. So those are two columns. Okay. And then you can put other values there, but for the time being, you just for the two fields, we are going to have just a table with two columns. And for this one, for the button, it's just a panel grid with one column. Okay, because we only have one row for this. So for columns, we are going to say one. Okay. And now we put our button inside the table. Yeah, so this is going to generate a table for us. Okay. Yeah. And so far we can maybe run our project, or just go to your web, to your browser, and try and refresh. Sometimes it will do build this automatically for you, so you can refresh it and see what you have. you can see that you have your field well aligned in a very good table there. So you can see it is complaining of something. UI form unsensitive, it is telling us that we did not create a form. So we are going to ensure that all our fields, all our input fields are in a form. So we are going to create, to use a component called hash form. Okay, yes. So we ensure that all our fields and the button are inside a form. Okay, this is form will just generate a form for us. Okay, so if we go to sorry, you didn't see what I did. I created a form, so let me just take you back to our code. So what I have added here, I have added this hash form tag here and have closed it down there. Okay, yeah. Then let's get back to our browser. So going to our browser, if now we refresh, we are going to find that we are not getting any warnings. Okay, and we can center everything, maybe using a div. We can just simply center this one using a div. So we can try and say div. We can use the old way, that is, this div should be centered. Okay, yeah. So let's just put the whole of this. We are going to put the whole of our form inside the div. So you can see how I'm doing it here. So this is my div here, and it has a property align center which is duplicated, but for this sample we are going to use it. So we put our form inside that div that is centered, and then if now we go to our browser, and refresh, we can see that our form is well centered. Okay, we are creating a login page, so you can see it is well centered. Okay, so let's get back to our IDE. Or first we can look for any logo. You can look for any logo, so you can search for free images for use. Yes, so if we go through that site, or we can look for this site called actually you can go to a site called Icon 8. Yes, when you go to Icon 8, you can get very good logos. So for us it's employee. Okay, icons8.com provide you very good icons and everything, and we can just pick one picture that we are going to use in our project. You can see it is giving us so many that we can use for our system. So in our case, let me see what we can use. We can just pick one of these images and use it in our system. They are all free, so let's just pick this guy here. Let's pick this guy here, and when you click download, you'll be given the option, the one that you can download for free. You can see we have a 100 by 100, which is a free one. Yes, so you can simply download that. Yes, 100 by 100. Those are the dimensions I've selected for my image. Then save it somewhere. So mine, I'm going to put them in pictures. Yes, I'm going to put them somewhere in pictures. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I have my icon. So after you have your icon here, after you downloaded your icon, you can simply drag it into your project. Let's get back to NetBean and add our directory. Will be putting these images. So in your web pages, you can create a resource folder, and inside that directory create a folder for putting the images. Okay, so let's right click and say new folder. We are going to call this folder resources. Okay. Yeah, and then because you can have the kind of resources, images, CSS, JavaScript. Let's just have a subfolder for images. Okay. Yeah, so now we can just put our image in that. I will just add my image into that folder. I will just copy this into this folder. I'll just paste it there. You can see now we have our icon inside our project. Okay, and you can actually now pick it and drag it to where you want it to appear in our form. So for me, I want it to appear before the real form, just up here. So I just come and drag it like that, right? Yeah, you can see the tag has been created for me. Actually, what JSF does, it does not create a component for each and every tag that we have in HTML. It only create tags for those components that it can add values to. Okay, so for this one, for the p tag, we don't have any JSF component for that. For image, because these are just the basic component for HTML, and they don't need to be added in the value. Okay, so now if we go to our browser again, you have saved, make sure that you save. If you go to your browser again and now refresh your page, let us refresh our page. You can see now we have an icon. Okay, you can see we have a very nice login page there waiting for us to add some logic, okay, for logging in. But so far we have created a page for logging in those many or few minutes. Okay, so we want to add some actions. So for this we need to now do some basic Java coding. Okay, so let's just go to our project here. You remember here we talked that all the Java code will go to the source packages directory, but then we need the main package where you are going to put our source code, our classes. So we just create a package called com.martin. Okay, so the first one is the one that will be managing employee data. So we create a new class for doing that, which is a plain Java object class. So I will just call it employee. Okay, employee. Basically, this class will not be having any functionalities. To only have the properties for the properties for our employee. Okay, yeah. So I think I forgot to bring you back to the screen, but anyway, we came here into the source package. We right clicked here, new, then Java package, and then I created a package called com.martin. Then inside there I right clicked again and I created a Java class, and then it has created this class for us. Okay, I can remove this comment, they are necessary. Okay, they are necessary. So we go on. Yes, we go on coding our class. So the first property that we want our employee to have is and it have a private a private marker, meaning it can only be accessed inside this class. We will use getters and setters in that case. I will show you how to easily generate getters and setters. Okay, yeah. This I'm assuming that you have some basic in Java, so it will be of data type integer, and the first field is ID, and then we can have another field which is of type string, which is username, and then we can have another field which is private string password. Okay, yeah, so we have that, and then we need to make it to be a managed bin so that JSF is able to manage to work with it. Okay, so you just mark it with an annotation at managed beans. You choose javax.faces.bin. Okay, later on you are going to use the EJB, which is the current way of doing this. So we have marked, and then for this we are required to have an empty constructor for this to be a managed me that is identifiable by JSF. So we can go here, insert code, then you select a constructor, then you don't select any field, you select to insert for you an empty constructor. And then we can also do the same. We can generate getters and setters. We just select getter and setter here. Select all the fields to get the getters and setters for all the fields. You can see it has generated all these for us without us doing anything, right? We only created our field, and then it has been able to generate an empty constructor for us. It has generated getters and setters for us. Yes, this is so good, okay? And now we don't want this pojo. This is just a pre. We want it to remain pre without any business logic. So to be able to use this class, you need you create a controller. A controller, this will be the central place whereby the controller is going to be receiving requests from the front end. That is the JSF page. The JSF page, it will be receiving the request from this page. When you click here, whatever you are entering here, and then after receiving data from this front end, then it is going to save that data inside your user model. You can call this user model, this class that we have created, the plain Java object class. Yeah, it is going to carry that data using this class. And then using this class, sorry, I'm not showing you the class. Yeah, it is going to carry the data using this class, using this model. This is a model of a person. We are saying that this employee has ID, has username, has password, and other details, and he can maybe register a username, he can register all that, okay? Because this class represent is it's a model for all employees that we are going to have, okay? So the controller is going to be putting data here, and then if it want to carry the data, and then the same controller will be going to the database, fetching the data, and then pushing it back to the front end, okay? So let's create that employee controller class. So we are going to call it employee controller for doing, this is the central, this is the engine that will be acting on employee class, okay? So we have it here. We also allow it to be managed by JSF by marking it as a managed bin, okay? Now, for it to manage the our model, we need to create an instance of that model here. So let's create an item of type employee. Yes. Yeah, so now from our controller, we can now access employee, okay? And you need a getter and setter for that. We have marked it as a private, okay? Yeah, this is called tightly coupling, okay? The data is the controller and the model, they are tightly coupled. That is, they are completely dependent on each other. When you change the employee being like a certain field, sometimes you'll be required to come and change some here, some items here, okay? Yeah. Anyway, we will be talking about tightly coupled object and loosely coupled object later on, okay? So we are good. Here we are. This is just the basic Java. I hope you are understanding. If you are not, you're always free to ask your questions, okay? You're always free to ask your questions now or later on. So from this class, From this class now we can go back to our front end. We can now access those items. How you access your Java code? You come here to your JSF. The file you fill for this input, the username wanted to save it in the employee. You want to save it in this employee username field, okay? But we said that for this front end, that is the field to reach this one, it has to go through the controller, okay? So you'll be referring to the controller, okay? So let's do that. So you put a hash, then braces, then the name of your controller. So ours is called employee controller. And then to access the field from employee, you just put a dot. Then we access the employee from the controller, and then the field whereby you want to save the file. Okay, so the file now is saved in the it is saved by controller into the employee model in a field called username, okay? And we do the same for password, okay? We do the same for password. Employee controller dot employee dot password, okay? Now we also need an action for logging in. So in the controller, we'll just create a simple method for logging in. So it will just return a page whereby if it's successful, it returns a success page. If it fails, it returns a fail page, okay? So you just call this login, okay? So maybe string page is equal to you can have an error page as the default one .xhtml, okay? So this is what we will be returning by default, return page, okay? Yeah, so for the action now we can point it to that method. So now this is directly in that controller dot login, okay? So simply now we have some action. I know there's we are going to get a certain error. I'm going to explain to you why we are getting that error. So now you can see that we have everything here. So again, let us try and learn. Now we have connected our front end to the backend Java code, okay? I hope you have not lost your way so far. Yeah, that's what we have. That's what we have. Let's run our project once again. And here I'm going to go back to the browser so that we can see what is happening. Yeah, most of the time when you change your Java code, it's very important for you to run your project, okay? So it is opening. You can see our system here. So we want to see what happens if you try to log in from this repo. Let's see what you are going to get. Admin, okay. Nice, we get a target and reachable, okay? Target and reachable. Okay, I will explain that to you. Here, we came here and we create an instance of employee, but this is not, JSF will not know how to find the employee model, okay? So to make it be able to find that model, you come and annotate here with a managed property annotation. So you have a managed property here. Managed property, you import the same here. Yes, managed property. The name is equal to the value that you have given for your model. For ours is employee because we didn't change the default, okay? so that it knows how to get that. So so not name but value. This should be value. Yeah, so now your JSF is managing everything for you, knows where to get this model from. Okay, good. Okay, then we also need to create these pages. Let's just create this page, password error, or we can just first try and I'm sorry again, I forgot to show you what I did. So what I did, this is what I did. This is what I did. I have marked this property. I've marked with the managed property with the value of the bin of the model, that is the model bin here, employee. Okay, this is what I've created. Okay, good. So we can go back to our browser. I'm just going to go to the browser, but I'm going to run my project again so that we can see if it still gives us that error. Okay, I hope that this is going to help you be able to use Java for your web application development. Yes, so we are waiting for our project to run. So now let's try again. We have admin, so we try and click that. You see now it's not giving us the previous error. It is saying unable to match navigation, that is, it is unable to get this. Okay, yeah, so it is trying to get this page that we have not created. So we now create our page, my brothers. So first let me take you back to the IDE. I'm forgetting this, I'm very sorry. First we go to the IDE, to the web pages, and create the necessary pages. So right click on web pages, new, look for JSF page. JSF page is here. If you don't find it, you can go to other, then go to web, and then you select JSF page. Okay, then you click next, give it the name, password error page. Okay, you don't need to do .jsf, it will do that for you. This is just going to print for the time being. It's going to print wrong password or username. You don't want to say what was wrong. And then we can create for success. We can create a success page, JSF page here. We can take person to home. Okay, home. Then you say welcome home. Okay, welcome home, right? And then we are going to rerun our project. There it is, running. It has opened my browser, so let me show you my browser. My browser. So there we go. So let's now try and log in. So every time it will take you to the error page because you have not changed that logic. Yeah, so let's see if it is going to take us to the error page, because that's the default return for a method for login. You can see it has taken us to the error page up there. Okay, so now we go back to NetBeans. We go back to NetBeans and correct for those who are going to enter admin and admin. So in our controller, in our login method here, we just come here and we use an if to check if the password that a person has passed. Okay, if the password passed, okay, we know the password passed, we know the value of that password. Okay, so we can say we can have our the value here dot get password dot equals to admin. Okay, we are getting the password, and employee dot get username dot equals admin. Now we set the page, the login page, to be home.xhtml. Okay, yeah, okay. So if you put username admin and password admin, you are going to be taken to home.xhtml. Okay, so again I run and I go to the browser and see if that happens. Okay, let's see if our logic works. Let's see if our logic works. There we go, it is loading. Let me just close these other pages. There it is. Our application is here. Now we use admin, we log in. It takes us to where? Home. Okay, take us to a home page. What if now we use any other password that is not equal to admin? Because admin, then admin 1, 2, 3. Where will it take us? To the error page. Right, wrong password or username. And later on we'll come and improve on this simple project. So I want us to get up to that point. I hope you have been able to follow up with me in doing that simple task. You can slow down, you can ask questions, you can also request for the code to be sent to you, and you are free to keep asking questions. So we are going to edit there for today. So may God bless you and may God do you good. Continue learning Java. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.